Hey, this is Tanisha, and this week I am doing a tiny painting. This is inspired by a class I just took on tiny painting. And I just thought it'd be good to do tiny paintings because you could do them quicker, practice more often. Because as you know, I'm still learning watercolor and I'll probably will never arrive as a watercolor expert. So I'll be learning watercolor for a very long time. So I just thought it'd be nice to sketch one of the coffee shops that I've seen that I'm interested in, maybe even doing a bit larger of a sketch. But I thought, let me try a tiny sketch. So this sketch is I believe it's 4x5 or 4x6, one of the two. And it's on a cold pressed watercolor paper. It's by Saunders Waterfords. And another thing, I've been testing this paper a lot because I'm planning to make my own sketchbook, so this is just another test. So I think when you sketch tiny, it is harder to be more detailed, and I still find myself trying to fall into or to get too far into the details. And maybe that's just telling me something. I like details. So I did find myself drawing a lot more details than maybe I should have, because I say I want a looser painting and then I somehow go more detailed. I guess I just can't help myself. So even though it does get more detailed, it gets more looser towards the end because my goal this time was to do this painting without using pen. And I have to be honest, there's some things I love about using pen. It's just that my lines don't get lost. And I feel like when with a pencil, my lines get lost and I lose where I am, what's going on, and that kind of messes with me a little bit. But anyways, I should talk a little bit about this shop. This coffee shop is 1418 Coffee, located in downtown Plano. What they stand for is coffee, community, and compassion. And they believe, coffee brings people together, and I agree. I used to love, and I still do, but I love going to coffee shops. It's my favorite thing to do, even though I can't really drink coffee anymore, but I love going there. And so I'm actually thinking about doing a series of paintings on coffee shops. So if there's a coffee shop that you love, no matter what city or state, I'd love to hear about it, because I'm thinking about starting with Dallas and then doing some other coffee shops in different states, just unique coffee shops. I think I'm gonna probably do my favorite one for sure, that's a chain. But in any case, yeah, so that's what this is. This is just more practice for myself with sketching and things like that. My drawing is a little bit wobbly, but trying to not be a perfectionist. So I find it very hard with this tiny painting to do words very clearly. So in the end, they just kind of look mushy in some ways. But in any case, I really love how it looked before it was painted. I will say after painting, I liked it, but there were some things I wish I had done differently. And I guess that's the goal of practicing. I really love how I did the lettering here. So it was basically, I was trying to match how they have their letters written. It's not exact, of course, but it's similar. So if you look up 1418 Coffee Shop, you'll see it's kind of got a similar look, the lettering. And I really love how it looked on the windows as well. So that was really, really nice. Now I think in the future I'll add a little more items to the scene, but I was trying to keep this simple. So here we go with the painting. This is where everything started to go downhill, where I couldn't really see my lines anymore. And maybe this is a good thing for looseness, or maybe this is a good thing for figuring out techniques on how to fix things. I don't know. I have to figure it out, but it really bothered me that my lines were starting to disappear and I didn't like it. And then also, because I was trying to go so fast, my watercolor, the technique I was trying to use, wasn't working so well. And then I kind of go back into old habits of doing what you shouldn't do with watercolor, and that's repainting over the top before it dries. So I was kind of getting into that bad habit because I guess I just don't like going fast, but fastness also can relate to looseness. But you have to, I think over time I will learn how to go fast and still have a decent looking painting. But I think right now, because I'm still learning, going fast is not really serving me well. Anyways, I'm still glad I did it because I feel like I'm going to grow more the more that I do this. And so, mistakes and all, I really enjoyed the process. So here I am. I'm trying to do some of the shadows. Again, I can't see my line, so it's like I'm trying to draw where I think it is. So yeah, this has been a journey. And then as you can see, I drew right over that, I don't know what that is, but the pole that goes into the ground. Drew right over it and it looked really good. But in the end, I do try to save it with my pen and it kind of works. But that's just another thing, how to go fast and not draw over or paint over things that you can't get back, because with watercolor you can't put light over dark. So I was also I feel like I'm just talking. I also tried to pay attention to the lighting, and that didn't work out well. But overall, I still enjoyed it. It came out very loose. I learned a lot. I will say that the one thing I really have to figure out with this watercolor is the white, being able to do white lettering. I find that anything that I have used, any kind of white pen, and I have every kind that I've been able to discover on YouTube, and I've had a problem with each one of them. Like the Posca pen, I have a problem where sometimes it just over leaks, so then that doesn't work, and then it's not as white as I want. And then I have this other pen, it's like a pigment white pen, and it works okay, but it's not really good for small lettering like this. So you'll see eventually I will try to do the lettering on the door with white, but because it doesn't work well with small lettering, it just doesn't work well, and I decide at that point to forego doing a white lettering on the doors or windows because the lettering is just way too small. I did, however, do the white lettering on the top of the building because it was a little bigger, and of course it would just look so much better with that brown. And so I did try that, but I really hope to find a white in the future that works well from a pen perspective. If you all know of any white pens that works very, very well over watercolor, please let me know. I have the Jelly Roll. I have this, I think it's a pigment-based white ink. I have the Posca pen, which is, I think it's acrylic. I don't know if it's acrylic based, but I know I'm probably not supposed to use that. But it's only a small, very small amount. Excuse the car out there if you heard that. So if you know of any white pens, please let me know. I'm trying to find one. So because I love to write, I know that I love writing words on buildings. So I know I'm going to need white in the future. Or maybe I'll just have to, do the paintings in a way where I don't need the white. Maybe that's what I'll have to do. Just, if it looks like it calls for white, change the color so I can use a different color. Alright, anyway, so here I am going into the details of this small painting. I think it's starting to come out good. It's not perfect. I can't decide if I really like this loose look, but it was still fun. I really love to hear what you think in the comments. And again, I would love to hear if there's a coffee shop that you love and in the comments, because I might actually sketch that. I feel like doing this series is going to be helpful to me in a couple ways because I just love coffee shops for one. I could go there and sit for such a long time. So that's one. And it is just a comfy, cozy place. You can think about stuff and get things off your mind and just really think. And so I've been going to coffee shops for years, so that's why I really want to do this. And I think I would just take you along with me to the coffee shop. You can see the behind the scenes, and then you can see the painting. I think that might be interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments.